everyone. This is Henny Espinosa with Just Wish Foundation, and today we are joined by Becca Kirtman, who chose to honor his daughter's memory by helping young women in need in one of their most memorable moments in high school. Thank you for joining us on Just Wish Foundation, Jay.
My pleasure, and thank you for having us.
So, Jay, tell us a little bit about your daughter, Becca. Your daughter, Becca, was an achiever. She was a well-rounded cheerleader, an honor student. Tell us more about her and why she was very much loved by people around her.
I think you're born that way. Rebecca had a gift. She had friends in all different circles. She had her cheerleading friends, her dance friends, her technology friends. Internet was just getting big when she was in high school, and the cell phones were just coming out, and she just gravitated to so many different groups. And that was the one thing about Rebecca. She brought everybody together.
She brought people around her, yeah, and she cared for people, yeah. She was known for being such a caring person.
She was very compassionate, and she just loved everybody. She was happiest when everybody was together. And she was just a special child.
Do you think that she drew a lot from those qualities from her parents, from you and your wife?
I think she gets a little bit, I'm an extrovert. My wife is a little more introverted. And I think she got the best of everybody, from the grandparents and the great grandparents. It just seemed like she was the package. Everything fell in place for her. And she had that gift. And I think you're born with it.
Yeah.
You can't teach certain qualities. You can only try to enhance them and bring them out and support your child.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we did. We supported her in whatever she was doing.
She was born with it and enhanced, of course, by her family and people around her. She was also very passionate, not just about caring for others, but also actually helping others in need. Now, tell us how she took action when she saw kids in her high school. Prom, of course, is such a very memorable moment for kids, for the youth. Tell us, what prodded her to take action and help fellow students who were disadvantaged and could not afford to buy that. The prom dress is really that's what you look forward to in these moments. So tell us about that and how she really stepped up to help.
So the way this whole project started was Rebecca was reading one of her teen magazines, and she read an article about a private high school in California. And that school, they were collecting their prom dresses, and they were giving it to one school in their area. And she said, that's not fair. What about all the other schools? What about all the other kids? And we said, well, great. It's a great idea to, help more people. She's the one to do something. And it took about a week or two. I was sitting at my desk. It was the end of the day. And remember how big the monitors used to be? It was really long, and I'm sitting at my desk, my feet up on the table, and she walks in and she goes, Dad, can you mail these? And she hands me a stack of envelopes. I go, what's that, Beck? And she said, it's for my project. I said, okay. So the next day, out in the mail, all our letters go. A couple of weeks later, we get a phone call from a company in Philadelphia, and they said, is this a real project? Because remember, when she started this, there was really not a lot of other people that were doing this. And since she has started, and her program started, you're seeing a lot of outshoots from this, and more adults are doing a project that she started as a child.
Wow.
So this one company sent her over 200 brand new dresses.
Wow.
And obviously, you know how much room a big poofy prom dress takes up. Take 200 of them. We didn't have the closet space. So one thing led to another. My wife worked in the high school, and she told the principal, she had asked if there was any storage space or anything that, any place we can store these dresses. They needed to be air conditioned. So the principal, I guess, reached out to one of the local newspapers. Next thing you know, Rebecca's on the front page of the newspaper.
Wow.
Then the TV stations picked it up, and it just locally went viral. and everybody started, donating dresses to her. And
Wow.
at that point, she had over 250 dresses. And in her first year, she gave them out to kids in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, which is Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, her first year.
Were you surprised at all that she thought about this and actually took action?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, we have all these ideas, but not really everyone follows through. Were you surprised at all at a young age that Becca would actually, at the time when things were not going viral yet, this was viral.
Right, exactly. And yeah, it was surprising, but it wasn't, because when she started this, it wasn't called Becca's Closet. It was called she went to Nova High School, and it was called the Nova Dress Bank. She didn't want her name on it. And my wife and I said, Beck, you're doing this project, why don't you call it Becca's Closet? Because there are so many times I see her friends, they come into the house and I'm going, Rep. I called her Beck. I said, Beck, that looks like your shirt. That looks like, she goes, it is that, but they went to borrow it, and the clothes are always kind of gravitating from her closet and coming back, and there's all these things going on. And so that's kind of how it happened.
Jay, I'm so sorry to bring this up, but this whole organization and movement of good was founded really in honor of your daughter, and I would like to go back to that moment, that moment when Becca was only 16, right? When you lost her to a tragic automobile accident. Tell us about that and what that moment was like.
Again, remember, Rebecca started this project, and she had already been on multiple TV stations. She was in the newspaper, both newspapers, the Sun Sentinel and the Miami Herald. And it was so sudden. It was instantaneous, and it just ripped a hole in your heart.
Yeah.
It just, the one thing you do as a parent, you're always looking, what can you do for your children? What can you do for your children? And then this horrible thing happens. It devastated us.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we have a great circle of incredible friends and a very close family that were there 24/7 for many, many months, bringing food, sleeping at our home, picking up all the details. And it was very, very difficult. Nobody should have to deal with that kind of grief and horrible things happening in your life.
Of course. And it was too soon, because she was kind of just starting out. She was just starting out, making her mark in the world, and you wanted to honor her by continuing the legacy that she left behind. Tell us, at what point did you and your wife think that this is something that we can do for Becca and for the community that she has helped?
So Rebecca passed away on August 20th. And by August 30th, a foundation was formed.
Wow.
By our friends that were lawyers and accountants. They put this whole thing together. We had a meeting at our home with some very close friends that wanted to continue this. And we felt that this was something that she started that needed to be finished.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were going to honor her memory. The only change that we were going to make was we weren't going to call it the Nova Dress Bank.
Yeah.
We were going to call it Becca's Closet.
Yeah.
And that's, we just felt it was the right way to honor her. And that's how it, but it was a community that got together and said, we're gonna do this. And we were able to really grow our foundation from that strong base.
So tell us how that foundation has grown since it was founded. Your main mission is really to provide those prom dresses to girls that cannot afford it. Tell us how that has grown from the 200 that Becca initially gathered to what it is now.
Right. So basically what happened soon after she passed, it was very public. And within a year, there's a local mall, it's called the Festival Marketplace. They stepped up big time. They built out a beautiful place for us, a beautiful home for us to distribute the dresses, beautiful dressing rooms, absolutely. They were amazing right from the start. And we were able to just delve in, and we had all these tremendous volunteers, and we were able to just reach out and start giving out dresses. But it was really the growth happened because we were on CNN, we were on Inside Edition, we were on the Today Show,
Wow.
and many other national broadcasting radio stations. We were in newspapers all around the country. It just went viral, and
Mm-hmm.
then people started, wow, great idea. We want to do this too. We want to help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how it's grown so quickly. It grew so quickly. And fortunately, we just had this huge support from the community
Yeah.
to make this happen.
So through the years, Jay, you have an estimate of how many dresses have been sent out, the kind of the scope of this of this project?
Yeah. So we've probably distributed between 25 and $30 million worth of dresses since we started. We've
25
just
to 30.
$1 million worth of dresses.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. We
And this
have
is nationwide, Jay. This has become nationwide.
nationwide.
Wow.
Now we have approximately 50 or 51 chapters around the country. Maui being one of them. We lost all our dresses in Maui from the horrible fires that they just had.
Yeah.
But the damage wasn't from the fire, it was smoke damage. There was so much smoke in the high school, it just ruined all the carpeting and at Becca's closet, and ruined all the dresses, and everything had to be.
Yeah.
But we're going to rebuild.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, of course. It's our heart goes out to Maui and certainly just not Maui, right? We're talking about how many chapters now?
So we're over 50 chapters.
50 chapters.
We're in
Wow.
Alaska. We're in Hawaii. We're in New York and Illinois and Tennessee, and Georgia, and all over the place. So we're far-reaching.
And the dresses, Jay, this is in partnership with the companies, right? With the retail companies, or this is coming also from regular folks in the community who want to do their part?
Great question. So remember, Rebecca when she started her project, beside mailing out letters, she put up signs around her high school, asking kids that if they had, homecoming and prom dresses from prior years or from siblings that had attended. So that was the impetus. It was the growth of, kids helping kids and big corporations donating dresses. Now we have tremendous supporters. For example, Macy's has been an incredible company that has donated millions of dollars worth of dresses. Currently we've got a company based in California called Windsor with over, I think they've got 350 to 400 stores. They're just an incredible, they have an incredible corporate culture. Not only are they helping us, but if you look at their employees, they've been with them forever, and they've just reached out without us asking them. They found us, and they have just been an incredible resource for new dresses to help the girls.
And for the girls needing help, Jay, how do they get help from you guys? Is there a process to it?
Yeah. So we're on the honor system. But we ask basic questions. Like if, for example, if you aren't going to get a dress from Becca's Closet, how would you get a dress? And if they say, well, I was going to go to a major department store, I'm going to go to a local, well, then we're not right for you. But all I can tell you is when the kids come to Becca's Closet, they belong there. And occasionally some young woman will come, and those are the ones, and there's very few people that leave without a dress. The ones that do realize they really are in the wrong spot, that they shouldn't be there. So even those kids that initially come knowing that they can't afford a dress, but they've seen the quality of dresses that we have, in their hearts they know it's not right. And that tells me so much about those kids. It's really a testament to the families that have raised these kids.
Do they at some point, Jay, come back to you after their prom and thank you guys for making that moment so memorable for them? what are the kind of the most memorable responses that you've gotten from these young girls who, you know, had that moment because of you guys?
Right. I think for me personally, the thing that warms my heart the most is when we get that young woman who comes and she gets a dress and then comes and volunteers.
Mm,
Not now that we're doing this for 20 years, not, where they have gone out in the world and they've, made a nice life for themselves and they're successful. And the easiest thing to do is to write a check.
mm,
Hardest thing to do when you really buy into something is to come and volunteer with
yeah,
us.
yeah,
And that for me touches my heart the most.
yeah.
And
It,
there are a lot of stories like that, and a lot of kids that have, gone on and become successful. And they have made donations, and we're
yeah,
so appreciative of that.
yeah,
So appreciative that. But it's the kid that comes back and
yeah.
volunteers is most special to me.
Paying it forward
Exactly.
and giving that other young girl that moment, and it's because
All
that
right.
moment became so special for them.
Because it's
Um,
not about the dress. It's not, remember, Penny,
yes,
it's not
yes,
about the
it's true.
dress. It's about that somebody cares enough to take the time to help them get a
Yeah,
dress. And
yeah,
the way we distribute, it's a one-on-one, it's like a boutique environment. We have an adult woman working with usually two of our student volunteers with the student who will be the recipient of the dress. So it's very personalized. It's not a free-for-all. You just can't come
mm,
into Becca's Closet where we distribute from.
mm,
You need an appointment, and they
mm,
come in and they're treated with honor and respect, and all the dresses are on the same hangers and the same bags, and
mm.
they don't feel like they're just getting a handout.
Yeah,
It's hard enough for these kids that are living in poverty to jump through hoops and keep asking for things. That's not what we're about.
yeah,
We're about believing in the student and
yeah,
making it a real pleasurable experience.
yeah. It's more than just a dress. It's giving that person confidence and
Right. And
mentorship
treating them,
as well, right, Jay?
yes.
Mentorship as well
Oh,
too.
absolutely. And treating them with respect and dignity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How has Becca's Closet also expanded in terms of other programs? I understand there's also been other opportunities for deserving young people.
Yes. So um, originally when we started Becca's Closet, we started a scholarship in
Oh,
Rebecca's
wow.
memory. And the reason I took the stand that that has to be the most important thing that we do, because I never thought that this would take a life of its own and
Mm,
be so successful, and to have the number of chapters that we have and the number of volunteers and the number of dresses that we've given out. So I wanted to make sure that at least we had, if one kid every year got a scholarship and knew what Rebecca stood for, I was happy.
mhm.
So now we give out approximately $20,000 to $25,000 a year in scholarships,
Wow.
and we pay for approximately 100 kids, 100 students prom tickets, which we call the Becca's Angels program.
Wow, Jay. That
And we
is
want to do more. And we want to do more. We just, being a small foundation,
yeah.
we're only as good as the people and companies that make donations to us, so we have no full-time employees, nobody gets paid, and
Yeah, yeah,
we're just there to do it on a strictly a volunteer basis.
yeah. I mean, as a Justice Foundation, when we heard about what you guys do, I mean, we were just so touched because we were moved, especially by just, I mean, I can just imagine how devastating that was for you guys when Becca passed, but you turned that grief and that sorrow into something that not only honors her, but really continues her work in the community, her valuable work in the community. And we want to do our part. I think it's so great to partner with other organizations that really inspire, not just help, but really inspire other girls to also do their part someday when they're capable to help
Right.
other people. And so,
Right.
yeah, we want to do our part and support you guys as well. And I'm hoping that other other partners in the community would also step up so you guys can keep doing what you do and keep putting smiles on other young girls' faces. And so with the support of the community, Jay, how do you see Becca's Closet moving forward? What are your plans and what are your big dreams for it?
My big dreams are to have more chapters,
Okay.
more dresses, to help more students, and hopefully, to raise more money so we can give out more scholarships so kids know who Rebecca was in that avenue. And of course, it's really become more important now more than ever to help offset costs, because the prom tickets are getting, in different parts of the country, are extremely expensive. And part of a senior year, there's so much going on. They have to buy their yearbooks, and they have to, and families are feeling the pinch. And so, okay, we give them a dress, and what about having to get the prom ticket? So I want to try to grow our Becca's Angels program.
Okay.
And I think for me, going in the future is as important as the dress. So
yeah.
the more kids we can help, the
better.
As long as we help at least one kid a year, and I feel successful. I don't feel like, this is when I was in business, you're always trying to, do a little better, year after year, and you're grow that business. But for me, I don't want to feel if we gave out 15 or 18,000 dresses one year, and then if we gave out 10,000 dresses the following year, does that mean we weren't successful? Did we fail? Did we fail? And if we did 50,000 dresses, are we much better? No, we're the same. We're the same group. We're we want to help the kids.
Yeah.
So that's how I want to grow. I want to grow it. I want to continue it. I want to fund this so it goes to eternity, to perpetuity. I just want the whole world to know what Rebecca did, what kind of kid she was, and what she stood for.
Well, we're hoping to help spread the word about Becca's Closet. And Jay, do you sometimes, when you look back at how this has grown, your love for your daughter, has grown into this, I call it like a movement of good, it has become more than a dress. Do you find yourself sometimes talking to Becca, or like just of how this whole, this little act of kindness from her has grown? Do you find yourself, if you had that moment to talk to your daughter and just kind of see where this has taken, this movement of good has taken you guys all over the country, what kind of message would you tell your daughter?
I believe that I would tell her name was Rebecca. Everybody called her Becca. I called her Beck. And after she passed, one of her friends said to me, do you know what Beck stands for? Bringing everyone closer.
Oh, wow.
And that's what she did. And that's the message that I would tell her. It was like, through your entire life, you always brought all the kids together, whether they were cheerleaders, athletes, academic students, or people that were a little less fortunate than she was. She brought everybody together. So I would just tell her, how proud I am of her.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thanks so much for sharing story of Rebecca, for teaching us about family and love, and keeping memories alive and honoring legacies. And we salute you. We salute Becca's Closet. And thank you so much for all that you do in the community. And we support you, and we're hoping to support you more in the years to come. Thank you.
Awesome. And like Rebecca said, little things can make a big difference in someone's life. So thank you for your generosity and your donation. We're so grateful and appreciative.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Jay. Thank you.